There is a disturbance in the force. Disney is not looking too hot right now for some decisions made for Star Wars. So let's talk about the first news article that came out. The Star Wars story movies, offshoot movies, the non-trilogy movies, maybe on indefinite hold. Any of you guys have comments?
George Lucas made a whole series of mistakes with the prequels and even the original trilogy. Disney's managed to make every mistake, didn't learn from any of his mistakes. They basically cropped up with a whole batch of new ones and didn't even bother with the things he got right, namely storytelling. And the fact of the matter is that they can't tell a compelling story with probably one of the richest franchises, the richest universes out there.
Most recognizable character in movie history.
Quite frankly. And the fact is they can't leave them alone. They can't move beyond that. Kathleen Kennedy, who has been a part of some of the biggest hits for the last, 30 years?
Yeah, like what?
Terminator, Predator.
Oh my God, are you serious?
He's been involved in all those things. I don't know what the heck is going on. Like creative differences with directors. Yeah, directors scared to touch Star Wars because there's something going on behind the scenes there. I can't blame the talent behind it or the creative talent. All I can blame is the fact that it's going on in that front office. And it's not surprising at all. They can't take the formula. They can't seem to come up with a winning strategy. And I'm at the point now, I'm like, take Kevin Feige or somebody and move them over to Star Wars or something. But this knee-jerk reaction to just cutting out all the side stories, that doesn't make sense.
I think it makes total sense.
Well, I would just
makes sense to cut out the side stories?
No, put them on hold.
Put them on hold. Nothing you're doing right now is successful. So it's pointless to sit here and spend millions of dollars of money trying to promote a movie that's not going to make the money back. Solo should have never failed. Last Jedi shouldn't have a current petition out to get remade.
Yeah, so Mike, save that one. Save that one. But I would say this. There's been very few times where prequels have been successful. And I would probably just put it into context. The majority of prequels damage a franchise. For one reason or another, this has happened to Star Wars. There was really no point for that Solo movie to exist.
Right, I agree with that.
Other than Disney wanted money. Hey, well, we have this franchise called Star Wars. We can do what we want. The core of the problem, which Keith and I had said before, because it has happened to another franchise, it all starts with JJ Abrams. And it ends with JJ Abrams leaving Star Wars. Because this whole construct of the universe is hatched by JJ Abrams. All the stupidity that comes from this, they're trying to fit all this stuff into the JJ Abrams mold, the same way Warner Brothers tried to fit everything into the Zack Snyder mold. And that failed.
I wouldn't say Zack Snyder mold. I'd say they were still trying to hash on Nolan's realistic take on how Batman and stuff, but I understand what you're talking about. And I agree about the J.J. Abrams thing. I used to love the guy. I thought he could do no wrong. And hearing him talk and everything, I'm like, yeah, he understands that. The franchises, he loves them too. And all he's doing is just putting, this was pretty. Add more sparkles. It lost the core thing of what made Star Wars great. And that was, it told a very good story.
Right.
You love Empire Strikes Back, not for the special effects and the action. It was a damn good story. And then when you bring the storytellers who told that story in to do this next movie, and then you cut it, you hack it, slash it, reshoot it. This isn't the first time. Solo wasn't the first movie that they switched creative gears on it and did a whole bunch of extensive.
First one was Rogue One, right?
Rogue One.
Yeah.
You end up having a disjointed movie. What are you doing? What the heck are you doing? I blame that front office.
It's about damn time because Star Wars hasn't been doing anything. The stories have been horrible. I don't see anything that's coming out anytime soon that's going to be good. Right now, I have no confidence in Star Wars franchise, and that's saying a lot because I just don't care. Glad they're doing this, and hopefully when they do decide to come back and do something, they do it properly, but I don't have faith at all. None.
I agree with what everyone else said. Such a deep universe, trying to go down the tried and true path is one thing, but trying to expand it and make it into something great is something that they are allergic to. I agree with what everyone else says, and I don't see this changing anytime soon, and I don't really see myself in a rush to see any Star Wars movies on opening day, let alone opening weekend.
So this is an example of Hollywood just continuously making dumbass decisions. And this is probably the first smart decision they made in a while because it's been failing. And I classify Star Wars in like I do comic movies. You really have no excuse because the material is out there. It's not like you don't have references.
The material is right there.
Like you literally pick the book up, you transfer it to film. An entire fan base that knows all of this better than they know the Holy Bible, laws. They know it before they know their own damn Miranda rights. So you can't just smack anything on film and expect them to just up and accept it for what it is because, it's a Star Wars movie and we're just going to make money off of it. Hollywood is not creative anymore. Everything now is, let's just make it visually stunning and big and you accept it because that's what it is. And fans are like, no, we fell in love with this back when there wasn't special effects that were out of this world and great. We fell in love with this when Yoda was a fucking puppet. You can keep it simple. Make sure the story is good, and we'll buy into that. And again, if you have a whole history, encyclopedia full of stories, just sit there material, why the hell are we changing it?
Encyclopedias.
Well,
this is like
every movie that came out had like a
dumb-ass decisions.
Guide.
Well, again, I kind of get back to the point about prequels destroying franchises. So let's take The Hobbit, for example. Keith, do you care for that?
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Yeah, I tried to like The Hobbit. Right. No, it didn't work.
I have maybe 3 to 5 examples. So anyone want to comment on The Hobbit?
It didn't need to be made. It was already successful without it. It was a prequel that no one asked for.
I never even watched The Hobbit. So.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of...
Don't waste your time.
Lord of the Rings or Hobbit stuff anyway, so... man.
Lord of the Rings was awesome.
All right, so next movie, Prometheus.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Man, why would you bring that up? Man, come on now.
I'm going to say this. Other than Star Wars, great science fiction movie, Aliens. Some of the later Aliens movies, not good, but everyone wanted Ridley Scott to come back. And Ridley Scott came back and delivered half-hearted attempt at capturing aliens. Comments.
It fucking sucked. That was just a bad film, man. I mean, it wasn't that the idea was bad. It was just a bad fucking film with dumb people doing dumb shit. You know, I hate that type of shit. So, fuck them, let them die, let them die horribly. And the only downside was that it wasn't for real. They didn't really die.
Anybody else?
Just cashing it in just to make a buck. They don't care about creativity. It's just there.
And yet the Marvel movies are amazing.
What? What did I say? I say it every podcast. Marvel makes smart fucking decisions.
Well, apparently the other side of the House of the Mouse does not.
No, and trust me, they'll never get Kevin Feige to go over to Star Wars because Marvel will never let him walk.
I mean, he prints money for Disney.
71 billion counter offer for Fox. Just certified that for sure.
All right, So let's move on to the next movie, which is X-Men Origins Wolverine.
For God's sake.
Oh my God.
I think we get your point, man.
Lord, that movie is terrible.
Stop diving in that knife deeper than it has to go.
Prequels destroy franchises.
Skin.
Terminator Genesis.
What are you doing? God damn.
Yeah, really? You gotta go that route?
But anyway, so let's move on to another topic. So we already got the trilogy movies, maybe the only Star Wars movies from now on, at least the near future.
Well, they said they're definitely going to focus on those from now on, Episode 9 and then the trilogy.
All right, because you still got Rian Johnson.
Another trilogy?
Yeah, Rian Johnson's trilogy. They're still going forward with that.
And I think the people that make Game of Thrones also may have something out there as well. The next one is the Kelly Marie Tran, Rose Tico bashing. So this is what precipitated some of this and leads into the next thing where Rian Johnson started lashing out at some of the fans on Twitter.
He's an idiot.
A contingent of people did not like the Rose Tico character. Started harassing the actress Kelly Marie Tran on Instagram. She quits Instagram. Rian Johnson and John Boyega go into the defense of her, and Rian Johnson takes the wrong approach.
He takes a really wrong approach.
So the main things that people did not like about
that's the thing that I'm curious about. Like, what didn't they like about? I mean, she was a pointless character, but damn, I mean,
what did Rian Johnson? Did he say something specifically?
He called fans that didn't like her man babies.
Okay.
So,
but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Go ahead, Barry. I got something to say about that.
Again, his approach might not have been the right approach for someone that's invested in the Star Wars movies as a director. As he is, because he is the next director in line after JJ Abrams to author or whatever this next generation of Star Wars movies is supposed to be. So, comments about that?
He's a fucking idiot, okay? He's a fucking idiot for several reasons. I'm going to give you some right now, all right? You're calling Star Wars fans man babies because they don't like your film, all right? You're in the wrong profession there. You need to pick something else. Matter of fact, it's not a profession. This is life. People are going to be critics about everything. Everyone has an opinion. You can't call people names because they don't agree with you or they don't like something that you like. If that's the case, you definitely don't need to be doing this. Definitely Star Wars, because our fans, and I'm a fan as well, and I think all of us are fans, Star Wars fans can be toxic as fuck. They could be really extremely toxic. They could be toxic as shit. So for you to come out and say the fans are man babies, that shows your maturity level. Well, name calling because people don't agree with you.
Number one, he should already know as a director, regardless of how you may feel about it and all that, you can't come back on Twitter and retaliate like that. That's just number one. As much as you may want to say something, yeah, you should have every right to say it. You can't get on Twitter and start calling everybody man babies. That's just not going to fly.
It's fucking childish.
Yeah, as far as the fan standpoint, like Jay said, and I've been with him, we've met people who literally act like they own Star Wars. They created it. Their name is George Lucas. They get the check from it, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. And they don't, because they have nothing else in life but this. They need to get to a point where you can feel how you feel, but you need to simmer that bullshit down, because it's not that fucking serious.
Exactly.
I didn't like Rose as a character. The whole fucking movie, I said, they were like, what is her point? Why is she in this? But am I going to go on Twitter and hit up Kelly Marie Tran for doing her job and bully the shit out of her because I ain't like her character that she didn't write? She ain't got nothing to do with it. What the fuck purpose does it serve me? You're still sitting at home in your basement on Twitter while she's in the fucking movie.
Right.
This kind of explains why the cosplay thing's been coming this week. I won't go too deep into that, but I've seen a lot of people with all this racism in cosplay now. You can't be black in cosplay or Asian in cosplay and all this other stuff. And it's getting to the point where now, like I said, I'm happy they're putting brakes on the Star Wars stuff, because it's just getting fucking ridiculous now. This isn't even fun or enjoyable anymore. You look like some of the worst fan base on the planet. George Lucas don't give a fuck about you. Disney doesn't either, unless you're going to make them money. I mean, that's about it. That's all it boils down to.
Right.
You don't own Star Wars. You did not create it. If you did, guess what? You'd be on the set. You'd be putting in your input, and we'd be following it. But you don't. So shut the fuck up.
As simple as that. Harassing her. I mean, come on, man. Jeez.
Hey, if you want to harass somebody can take it. Hit me up on Twitter. I don't care. We can go back and forth all day.
Like I said, Star Wars fans are toxic. It makes no damn sense why they're doing this. And then for him to say what he said, that's going to increase the toxicity. To be honest with you, if
Surprised he still has a job.
Thank you.
Because usually in this climate, you do something like that, the company's quick to just let you go and replace you than to sit there and stand behind you.
That too, what could happen, he could have blacklisted himself. Just say, all right, he does these Star Wars movies, they're okay. If he tries to go on to do something else, studio could be like, oh no, we're not messing with you. You lash out at the fans if they don't like your movie. We don't want that type of negative publicity. And what if it spreads? Then who you going to be mad at then? The fans? No, you be mad at your fucking self because you're a fucking child.
And you're old enough to know better.
Exactly. Come on, man. Come on.
I said, social media, people need to understand the world is a very sensitive place now.
Right.
So the slightest thing you say, even though in some instances you can look and be like, oh, that's really not that bad.
The perception of negativity will just haunt you, regardless of what you say. Even if you're agreeing with somebody, someone will just say that because you did not say the exact same thing they said, you are against them. You are a hater.
Yep. The world is about agreement now. It ain't about your point of view.
Because I need to be in my echo chamber, and if I hear anything counter to anything, you are against me. You are my enemy. And it's sad that the internet has become that, because the internet has so many wonderful things. We're sitting here harassing people on Instagram and Twitter. This is what the internet has become.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty much in agreement.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's move on to... Someone suggested to Rian Johnson that there's a petition out there about remaking The Last Jedi. He wrote a smug response and started trolling their comments.
I think he knows, in hindsight, he's identified the mistakes he made. They had a clip of Mark Hamill in an interview literally saying that he told Rian Johnson on set one day, what is this? This is not the Jedi way. This is not what a Jedi would do. How do you have Luke Skywalker telling you that you just wrote something that just definitely would not happen? and you decide to put it on film anyway. He said Luke would have never secluded himself on an island like that and just disappeared and left everybody behind.
Yeah,
he said this is literally not what a Jedi would have done. The whole basis of him being on the island, and I read it and I told Ryan, I said, this is not what a Jedi would do. This is definitely not what we would do.
Did he suggest what should have been done?
All right, so this is his comment. So a group called Remake The Last Jedi on Twitter said, hey, well, we're trying to raise money for a remake of The Last Jedi. So Ryan Johnson just said, please, actually happen, please.
Well, sure, he can put his money up for his salary. Shit.
So
if you carry that
some
much.
people see it as taunting, some people see it as him possibly agreeing. I mean, whatever way you want to take it. I think, again, he might need to stay off of Twitter for a couple of days.
I make it a requirement. You say one more thing out of pocket, you are done.
All right, so let's talk about The Last Jedi and just some of the problems. The Last Jedi had some decent concepts, poor execution.
Yes, I agree.
Mainly the Luke Skywalker is not Luke Skywalker. He's an angry old man that is drinking milk from a teat. Comments.
Man, hey, I agree with you wholeheartedly because this isn't Jedi shit.
He's throwing his father's lightsaber that he risked his life to get and to change his father's life over a cliff.
Right.
Luke Skywalker, greatest hero in movie history.
And he chucked it.
Wanted no parts of it.
Didn't even see wait, he just threw that shit over his shoulder. Like,
he said, nah, I'm good.
Just some stuff with Rey's character. I mean, her character gets a boost, but her character also plays second fiddle to a lot of other stuff that goes on into the movie because they try to open it up a little bit with, well, now you have this extended Mad Max chase scene in space. Spend some time there. You also spend some time because they break up the characters, Finn's character and Rose doing some heist that really ultimately does not turn into anything. There was no purpose for it.
It's just filler, man.
It's like they wrote that backwards. They came up with a plot point that included another character and couldn't fill out their background. And then you also have Captain Phasma, or whatever her name is. She just dies stupidly because they needed to have Finn do something remotely interesting.
Heroic.
Well, it wasn't even heroic. I mean, she died from like tripping over.
Well, no, he attempted to, man. He attempted to because, they wrote him like a bitch. I mean, every time something come up, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. Listen to me. We don't go this way. All right. Finn doesn't do that. He was written like a bitch. This was his redeeming moment, and at the same time, he was still a bitch. So, and I think I mentioned this before. Pacific Rim that Boyega was in. If Finn was like that, even though I really didn't like that movie, it was okay. If he was like that, then I would be like, okay, Finn ain't no bitch. But Finn's a bitch. I can't respect him.
And let me just finish up some other issues with The Last Jedi. Maz Kanata being in the movie for no reason at all. She's in the movie for about 30 seconds. Just to say, all right, go do this. You have CP3O's arm just being red for some random reason. You have Leia flying through space. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. And the worst thing about this movie is Snoke dying quickly and not even putting up a fight. He's supposed to be thorough. He's supposed to be legit. And his character should be the one that should have been provided the most backstory.
His character should have been the villain that propelled this shit. That propelled this shit.
He should have been.
He had this old snap reveal in Force Awakens that should be important in the next movie. You get to his lair, he gets decapitated. And that is the end of his character. Is he going to come back with some robotic legs now?
Well, let's hold up for a second. You need to understand that Abrams didn't have any reason for any of the stuff he did. Captain Phasma, her whole point was that she was wearing chrome armor. She's a tall stormtrooper female.
To sell toys.
That's it. And Snoke, whatever the heck his name was, no reason. You think JJ Abrams had a grand plan for that dude? No.
That's fine, but even if he didn't, Ryan Johnson could have taken it and created something grand with it.
Right.
Let's go back to the internet real quick. If everybody on the internet is like, yo, Captain Phasma is cool, I wonder what's good with her. And everybody goes, man, what is Snoke about? Man, I can't wait to find out who Snoke is. Common sense would say, build Snoke the fuck up then. You had the Emperor. The Emperor didn't have to do a whole lot of great stuff, but we still remember him for all the stuff that he did do.
But you knew that he was the puppet master. You were eager to see what's going on with him. You have Snoke, which could have been an Emperor-like character, and he died like a bitch too.
I was gonna say, remember when Jay was talking about how Kylo should have never got crushed by Rey or Finn in Force Awakens?
Right, that should never happen, man.
Snoke should have never died the way he did in The Last Jedi. It should just never happen that way.
Right. Never.
Gold robe and all, hell no. You can't tell me as bad as this dude's supposed to be. Nah. Mm-mm. It's almost like Rian Johnson was a fanboy who said, they're going to let me do whatever I want? Gosh, I'm just going to write in a bunch of shit that makes no sense because this is what I would do. No.
I actually like the way he just like killed all the bullshit characters. Fuck Snoke. And Phasma.
Snoke deserved a better story.
Man.
He deserved nothing, man. He was bullshit, you know?
He deserved a better
Snoke
story.
had enough of a presence in Force Awakens and the way they were building him up that he deserved a whole lot better than the second one. Phasma, I don't care.
What would you have expected if the Emperor had died in the first Star Wars movie?
The difference is I like the Emperor, and he was the Emperor of the Empire.
The reason why you like the Emperor
Snoke was
is
the
because they
supreme
developed
commander
him.
of some bullshit.
They developed the Emperor. They did not develop Snoke. They didn't give him 3 or 4 movies or a prequel to show how he came to power like that.
That's the point. There were 2 theories after Force Awakens that people had online. And I remember I called Jay and I told him, because Jay, you remember how hyped I was. I say, if any of these are true, then they've got something. Because there was one theory that it was Mace Windu and that the cut across the face was the Emperor when he got thrown out the building, he hit something or whatever. And then the second theory was that Snoke was Ezra from, the cartoon. Both of those theories made total sense. And would have worked on film because the fan base already knew all this. It would have worked because you didn't have to explain all that too much because everybody that sees already got it. If you didn't see it, you're not really going to care. You're just going to say, oh, shit, this is cool. They didn't do anything with it.
But what you get is some Force dating that they have this connection through the Force. And somehow Snook is bridging 2 characters from...
He's Tinder and shit.
Bumble.
Ray, swipe left or swipe right? Which one?
Then you have those red guards. What's the purpose?
I was about to say, I can see Kylo whooping their ass, but Kylo's suspect. When you got beat by a fucking brand new Force user and a dude that was a fucking stormtrooper. That should have happened. Like, Kylo Ren should have taken them out. But Rey? Nah, man. Like, she's just that badass. I mean, that still pisses me off. It's
She's
like
able to lift rocks.
It just eliminates the whole Jedi shit. The Jedi shit, Force and all that, the training involved. You just don't automatically know how to use the shit. It took the whole training aspect out of it. She's just automatically beast and shit. If that's the case, why would it be a Jedi Academy?
Okay, so from the sounds of this, you guys were expecting The Last Jedi to explain all the bullshit Abrams put in.
Well, no, not necessarily the bullshit. It's just to flesh characters out more.
Bullshit.
How's that bullshit?
It's the second movie.
Bullshit is because Rey's a bullshit character.
She's a fucking lead. I understand what you're saying.
Whatever the fuck her name is, a bullshit character.
I understand that. It's JJ Abrams with a half-hearted idea that someone else had to pick up and try to flesh out. And Rian Johnson did the best he could with some Disney money and a supposed visionary that destroyed Star Trek.
Pretty much. Granted, we could have just taken like whatever he has, but then there's the other side to the fact is that Abrams still was in control of all that bullshit. He was probably just as happy. He's like, okay, let him die.
He's producing the movie. Co-signed all that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't know what to do with it either. Yeah, go ahead and do it. That'd probably be cool.
Let's just move on to Rogue One, which was somewhat of a success for Disney.
That wasn't that bad.
I didn't think Rogue One was that bad.
It was okay, but the Disney way or Lucasfilm way of approaching some of these movies is starting to get tired. The way that they have a very empty lead character. This is like Jyn Erso. She's not even important, really, to me. All the other side characters feel more important. The droid feels more important
yeah, that's kind of true.
In Force Awakens, I mean, again, you have Rey and John Boyega with the JJ Abrams style of comedy ruining at least part of the movie. And then Han Solo dying because they have to have someone kill their father. Again, with the most popular franchise that you have, the lead characters are the least important or least interesting characters in the whole entire movie. I'd rather see a Captain Phasma movie.
Why the hell would I want to see a Captain Phasma movie?
Do you want to see a Rey movie?
That shit's probably coming, a Rey movie. I thought this shit's going to be her trilogy.
If they don't ever explain who the hell she is.
I remember that in that movie, he was actually throwing shots like, why just someone has to come from something to be great?
Exactly. That's what I like. See, I mean, there are things about The Last Jedi I like, and that's one of them.
No, but I would just say this. Star Wars in general is about the chosen one. The way George Lucas had written that movie is about being a chosen one. Anakin Skywalker was supposed to be the chosen one. Prophecy foretold all this crap about him bringing balance to the Force.
See, the thing is, I understand what he was trying to say. I understand it, and I get to a certain degree. But at the same time, it's like Barry just said, the shit is based on the chosen one, but based on
it's a space opera,
like story. To me, that's
and the chosen
that's an excuse for bad storytelling.
Those are the two things that are core to Star Wars.
But I don't feel like I should explain where these motherfuckers come from. To be great, you don't have to come from anything. Well,
it's lazy story writing because if
you're
they
taking
had
on a story that's already been based on that premise of where did this person come from, and you just like, oh, I'm not going to do it. To me, that's lazy storytelling.
I reject the whole thing about Star Wars is based on someone being a chosen one. I mean, just like at the very end of The Last Jedi, you had that little kid clearly demonstrating his Force sensitivity.
He has more backstory than Rey does at this point.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. For better or worse, we're stuck with it for the next film.
And I mean, again, The Last Jedi was an improvement over The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Is that agreed by everyone?
That's probably why I like it so much. Probably why I defend it so much because
when you have crap as the first movie or something, when you have something that is not a good
go up, man, shit.
Well, let me clarify that. If you have something that is not a good product, Force Awakens is not a good product because a lot of things with JJ Abrams, Disney trying to figure out what the heck to do with this. Someone has a little bit of time to be competent about some decisions with Last Jedi. Not all of them were great. Flying Leia is not great. Ludicrous speed ramming into a destroyer ship, not great.
Well, you didn't like that scene?
Why didn't they just keep doing that throughout all the movies?
Didn't it blow up like half the fleet?
It blew up everything, but it's like Avatar. It was visually stunning and yes, entertaining, but when you really look at it for what it is, the shit sucks.
Oh, it's a good IMAX shot if we do that. This big streak of light.
Storytelling. They could have fleshed that out, made it more interesting. Lazy storytelling.
A good bulk of the movie is a chase scene in Star Wars. A whole fleet is chasing after basically one ship.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Well, all I'm going to do is just turn around and go to light speed.
And go.
What was the whole purpose of this 30 to 45 minutes of underwriting the greatest actor of our generation, Oscar Isaac? Give him nothing to do for a movie that he should have been at least more important than what he is. He will likely be more important in the next movie. Disney has this way of the TV stuff. It's fine. People like that. The movies doing worse than Warner Brothers at this point. Let's just talk about whatever this next movie is going to be. Conclusion of Rey's storyline. Hopefully, the conclusion of Rey's storyline.
I might wait for Netflix.
I think I'll wait until it comes out on Fox, like World.
Christ. All right, enough of it. I cannot be the only one watching this in the theaters.
You will be.
I will go see that movie, but Star Wars is in crisis. People gave George Lucas massive amounts of problems, and he grinned and bared it. That first movie, episode 1, for about a good large portion of the movie, is hot garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Part of the second movie. Come on. The Rose Tico character is nothing compared to Jar Jar Binks.
Right.
And I understand that she written a certain purpose, but damn, the hate though?
I mean, Jar Jar Binks serves no purpose.
Jar Jar Binks, I understand the hate with that because he was just fucking, oh God.
Me saying the movie right now.
He's so annoying. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was so bad that the actor just quit. I think Jar Jar got a pass with that for the most part, like, because you could tell most of episode 1 was like a giant tech demo, just showing off the technology that they came up with.
I mean, have you seen that movie recently? It looks pretty bad.
No. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It does not age well.
I mean, this is CG laid on top of live action in the worst way possible. Oh boy, I'm a pod racer. I'm like, I don't need to see all that, George Lucas. But you know what? I'm going to give George Lucas some credit. Because, again, he took it on the chin and said, all right, everybody, you know what? The last movie, episode 3.
Revenge of the Sith. Say it.
I'm going to pull out all the stops. And, like, whatever you didn't like, all right, let's take it. mean, other than the second movie, maybe with Yoda having a nice little battle. That's all I care about in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
The third movie, I care about every little bit of that movie.
I mean, that story came together. I mean, it took every little bit, all the little threads, little things they threw out there, and he just told a nice little story. And then you finally found out why the fuck Darth Vader hated everything in the world, because his boy cut his legs off and his arm and left him to burn. I'm like, God damn. I mean, you should have heard the damn scene. I'm sitting in the theater like, ooh, this is the place he's on. He's like, I got the high ground. We're like,
oh, man.
Everybody's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
that means it's a wrap.
And he did the dude burn. It's like, God damn. I hate you. We're like, no shit. And then he caught fire. He burned it down. I loved you. And he turns around and walked away. And the dude just catches on fire and burns. He's like, damn. I mean, he couldn't even put him out of his misery. He just walked away. He was like, I can't look at this.
He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Took his lightsaber.
Like, your son's going to need this.
Took his lightsaber and his girl, basically.
I'm going to need this. Since you killed all the Jedi and burned that shit, I'm going to need this thing right here. And I'll see you around.
Like, you killed younglings. You don't deserve anything, you know.
As far as Anakin knew, like, he went off to get his girl and shit. Hey, is your girl okay? I'm going to go check on your girl right now. Left his ass to burn. Yeah, fucking Yoda and the damn Emperor fighting. The damn Emperor throwing a goddamn building at his ass. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Then that music's playing. You're like, oh shit, what's happening? What's he going to do now? Oh, he just picks up the whole fucking building and just throws it at him. I'm like, okay. So that's how these motherfuckers fight. And then you're wondering, like,
Sith Lord versus Master Jedi.
In Empire Strikes Back, was like, what was so bad that Yoda's going to be in that dirty ass fucking planet? And now you know why. You threw a building at him, and he fucking said, "Fuck this, I'm done. I'm absolutely fucking done. We lost this fight. We'll create up the new kid and let him deal with this shit." Damn. This dude came out of nowhere and he just threw a fucking building at us. Then like, how'd all the Jedi die? Order 66. Like, what the hell does that mean? And every fucking stormtrooper just shoots their asses in the back. Okay, so them lightsabers ain't that hot. Okay. Shit. That shit didn't work.
The force wasn't that strong.
Damn. You had them dudes, they were just going at it, swinging them lightsabers around, blocking all the shots. Then 2 more stormtroopers show up. Dude's dead. He told a compelling story. I mean, James and I said this over and over, and then we've all said it. The story was told well. And if you can tell a good story, like, the rest will follow.
A lot of people didn't like the prequels. I was one of them that was like, man, god damn it.
1 and 2 are bad movies.
1 is definitely a bad movie. 2 was better than 1. And 3 3 was my shit because that culminated to everything. Everything that was 1, 2. You saw it from the very beginning, and you were at the very climax of that whole trilogy, which is perfect. That's how it should be.
All right, so what would your ranking be for the first 6 movies? Just give me your top 3.
This is me. So, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith.
I'm going with that.
And yeah, there you go. That's about it right there. I didn't like A New Hope, so.
Yeah, I am going to say, matter of fact, yeah, I'm agree with you too. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith.
I'm in the same agreement.
Same. Empire, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. After that, I would probably go. I don't believe I'm gonna say this. I'd probably go Clones, New Hope, and then that piece of shit of a first one.
But I like Phantom Menace more than The Force Awakens.
Solo?
I like the music.
Phantom Menace is only good for
Phantom Menace only good for Darth Maul for me.
Liam Neeson and Darth Maul, particularly that last fight scene.
Yeah, I literally fast forward straight to that scene, and once it's done, I cut the movie back off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same
Yeah, you know what? One thing that I was kind of blown about that day, because I like the character Qui-Gon. Huh?
Ewan McGregor is also okay in that movie, but go ahead.
Yeah. I like Qui-Gon. Him dying was kind of a blow, but I understand.
You saw how the Jedi operated when they were at the height of their powers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care how many people say they hate the prequels. To this day, you describe the Jedi, they'll have the same structure that Lucas put out from Phantom Menace. Padawan, you only trained one.
Like religion.
Yeah, exactly. I liked how he put that together and like finally fleshed those parts out. The midi-chlorians, I understand what he was trying to do, but I admit that the execution fell pretty damn flat.
He should be stricken from, excuse me, That section should be stricken from.
But I agree with Mike. Phantom Menace is definitely last, and then.
Wait, you like Force Awakens more than Phantom Menace?
Let me say the first 6.
Okay.
Clones and New Hope. Well, like Clones, New Hope, and then Phantom Menace. There we go.
No, I'm about to go Phantom Menace last, Attack of the Clones, and then New Hope.
I concur with Barry.
Phantom Menace, ooh, man. What were you thinking? And then all those remasters, they still can't improve all that stuff. This still does not look better. Like, somebody should be able to go back in and make that stuff look a little bit more natural in today's technology. I mean, how many re-releases have come out? That stuff's still looking garbage.
He got shitted on for like remastering the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And he actually had a real legit reason for it. Well, other than making money, but originally he was going to re-release them just to clean up and add some technology. And he had a few scenes that couldn't be done back then because the special effects weren't available.
Yeah, okay, that's the same reason I thought too.
The other reason,
the capabilities now he does, he wanted to add them. Yeah,
right. And then the next step was it was more extensive than he realized because he got the original masters and the film stock was badly degraded. Because Return of the Jedi, he barely touched it. It was like a few scenes added at the end. And the last reason, of course, was he was generating more press and letting people watch the originals so they can get ready for the next trilogy. And so he can sell toys.
Me and Jar Jar Binks.
Who the fuck lets a guy get the full merchandising rights? That should never happen again.
All right, so let's wrap this up. And what are your hopes for Star Wars moving forward?
That they'll hire the original writers for Knights of the Old Republic and let them take over?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes.
And that they'll like say that it was a tragic mistake that we dissolve the expanded universe, and they'll just start gently sliding all this stuff back in. They've already done it a little bit, but
pay people for the rights to the books.
I mean, technically they own the right. They just have to kick out a little royalty.
You know what? I have nothing else to say. I agree with Keith. I was going to go with that because if you just go by the expanded universe, man, that alone, you should be good for at least a good 10 to 15 movies.
Yeah. And all they got to do is follow the Marvel formula. Just follow it. Take what they like. Keep the spirit of it alive. Keep the understanding.
I mean, make some changes because Marvel doesn't follow the comics to a T. But
of course.
Excuse me, but they're excuse me. Oh, goddamn. But the thing is, oh shit. But the thing is, the changes they make, it goes along with the spirit of the Marvel universe, so it works out. Like Mike said, they make good decisions. So,
all right, Mike, any comments?
Disney, you've heard them. You either do that or don't make any more damn movies. And if you do it, Kathleen, you better send Keith a check because he just put this shit on recording. That's what you need to do if you follow that advice. Filing copyright infringement lawsuits. I'm fucking on Disney.
Hire the Beast Gang. We'll get it right.
Damn straight. Warner Brothers, you should have been done that. I told you need to fix that DC universe. Keith's your only fan.
All right. Well,
this has been the Beast Gang podcast. No.
I got hopes for Aquaman. I got hopes for that.
What? Aquaman?
Yep, I got hopes for that movie.
Mike, you are right in your statement. He's the only fan.
I got hopes for Aquaman.
Aquaman needs a lot of help. James Wan has skill.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He has a lot of skill. James co-signs that. If his skill does not be on showcase for that movie, DC as a film company, AT&T, whatever, AT&T, Warner, whatever the heck it is now, you were done. Stop making those movies. Make something else. And getting back to Star Wars, what made Star Wars special, even with the trilogies, the original trilogy, was that you weren't going to get any more movies. The books, comic books, fleshed out everything for you. But then you had Disney with the business idea, regardless of what happens, people will go see Star Wars. And the law of diminishing returns, where you start flooding the market with stuff, devalues everything. So let's say if you did not get The Force Awakens, if you don't get those other trilogies and all they said, just give you prequels to flesh out the plans for the Death Star or flesh out Han Solo, how would you feel about those two movies? Would you feel more positive about it? The only movies that you would have gotten were Rogue One.
Oh, so in other words,
Solo.
no Force Awakens, no Last Jedi, none of this new stuff.
Correct. Kind of the same thing that happens in Star Trek right now. At least up until this week might be different. You might actually get whatever happens after Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Next Generation. Those are the only movies that you're going to get. The only movies you're going to get are prequels or things that would fit in between episode 1 to episode 2. But they're kind of doing with the TV show. How would you feel about that?
I don't think we would have had such a negative view on the movies if we didn't have the other movies that came out.
Disney would have put a little bit more effort into making those movies. Solo probably should not have come out.
It was a long weekend. That was the main thing. That was the target audience.
Yeah, but they should have scrapped it. When your whole cast starts complaining about the director and the way that whole thing was going.
And you're kind of living in an age right now where technically now the customer's always right. Big corporations didn't give a crap about how you felt, but now they do. They reach out to you on Twitter, Instagram, oh yeah, we're sorry. And for some reason, Lucasfilm is not sorry.
And this is why I hope this actually works, because if they actually listen to everyone, they'll stop making these movies and they'll go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, let's make some changes and try to either get it on track or just not do this because we're just going to waste money.
Do not double down on JJ Abrams. Do not double down.
Please, no.